That is
We like the whole streets committee to order,
But no, this
please
is
call the
flashing
roll.
for me.
Alderman Conway, Alderman Ortman,
Present.
Alderman Moore, Alderman French, Alderman Carter,
Present.
Alderwoman Tyus,
Present.
Alderwoman Murphy, Alderman Coulter,
Here.
Alderwoman Spencer, Chairman Bosley,
Present.
6 present, you have a quorum.
All right. Well, Alderman Conway, is he here? We'll take Board Bill 33 up first.
He's not here.
He's not here.
He's not
Okay,
here.
we'll put it at the bottom. Board Bill 82. Well, wait a minute. Are there any other people here other than members of the committee who has a
Yeah.
board bill?
Right here.
Alderman
Oh, you got one in
Huh?
there?
Yes.
and Alderwoman Behringer.
Yeah.
What's your number?
What's yours, Donna?
Well,
Oh, here it is, 94.
90 and 94.
Oh, yeah, it's a stop sign.
Well, we
That
got
used to be one of the
Barron here.
hottest things we used to have until we started street clothes.
well, we'll take the ladies first.
He said ladies first.
Ladies first, Donna, you get
So that's Board Bill
I heard her say,
94.
well, the ladies already
We're not
got there.
Well, thank you.
We'll even get your shirt.
Oh, look at that. Oh,
Oh, thank you.
there you go. That's why you've been married a long
What
time,
number?
right?
Board Bill,
Oh my God, my glasses
94.
on, so,
You want me to read it? You want me to read it?
no, I'm sorry. I'm laughing.
See, we only got 28, but we've been together 41.
yes.
Without glasses, I can't read.
So now we dated 13 years before we got married.
All right.
All right, we'll take up Board Bill 94, Alderwoman Behringer.
Thank you, Chairman Bosley. I'm here today because, just to give you a little background, in the 13 years as alderman in the 16th Ward, I've put up one stop sign and I've taken down one stop sign. So so that's only happened in 13 years. And what's happened in the 16th Ward is that we have had a big population explosion, actually. We have lots of young children, and they walk to school. So they're not driven, they walk. And this particular intersection that they've requested a stop sign, we have neighborhood meetings, we had a street meeting, and most of the families who live on this street showed up at the meeting. There are over 40 children under the age of 14 in these 2 blocks, and they have to cross a street where the teenagers from Bishop to Berg use it as a cut-through, so they're speeding. And so the families came to us and asked, can you please put this stop sign up? Because our children have to cross this street to get to the next street to walk to school before they can get to a crosswalk. So there is no crosswalk for the school they're getting to until they get down to Tam Avenue. So this is a major cross-through. And because the high school and the grade schools all start about the same time, the teenage drivers are flying through and the children are walking to school. So the request was from the residents, and it was at a streets meeting. The neighborhood is aware of it. The neighborhood association is aware of it, and they've requested the stop sign. And that's why I'm here today, is to do the official request through the Board of Aldermen, so it makes it legal.
All right. Are there any questions of Alderwoman Behringer on Board Bill 94? If, follow the lady from the
So
first.
this is gonna be one of your last stop signs before you go to state and start ranting against stop signs. No questions. Congratulations on your nomination.
Thank you.
That wasn't a question.
I asked a question first. I
She
sure
did ask
did.
me, will it be my last stop sign? And my answer is, I hope.
I did ask a question. She just didn't answer, but that's okay.
All right. Are there any other questions on Board Bill 94? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that Board Bill 94 comes out with a due pass recommendation. Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Alderman Conway, Alderman Ortman,
Aye.
Alderman Moore, Alderman French, Alderman Carter,
Aye.
Alderwoman Tyus,
Aye.
Alderwoman Murphy,
Aye.
Alderman Coulter,
Aye.
Alderwoman Spencer, Chairman Bosley.
Aye.
6 aye votes do pass.
Board
Thank
Bill
you all very much.
94.
Enjoy your stop
You will have any of
Alderman Vaccaro,
Alderman Vaccaro.
yeah, Board Bill 90.
Board Bill 90.
That's what I do too. I'm like, I put a check on it. That was done.
Who's next?
But Carl, he said is the hot seat, so we have to have some really good
Alderman?
questions.
So, Board Bill 94 is a stop sign. It's up the street from the Lindenwood Park. The neighbors are complaining about multiple accidents, and we actually put one in even a block or so before that. I would rather go through a big, long spiel. I would appreciate your favorable consideration of Board Bill 94.
Is it-
This
Board Bill
is,
90.
this is in your ward, right?
Oh, 93.
90.
Board Bill 90. I was reading that.
I was gonna say that, we just
90,
did
they
that.
just did that, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Okay, that's
I
all
got the
right.
wrong
Good
number.
morning, you need some coffee?
I need more than coffee.
Oh, okay, I can't get out for more than that.
Okay, it's in your ward, right?
Yes.
Are there any questions of the Alderman about Board Bill 90? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Previous row.
For request
There you
for
go.
previous.
Thank you all.
You're very welcome.
Then we got
Do you have to go, Jack? You gotta do something? You want yours next?
Yeah, let's do Jack.
If that's okay, I'll still be here. I'll be
But I'm
available
just
to
saying,
vote.
that way you can just, right.
Yeah, you can just come and vote.
Yeah,
Mine
but
should be
Alderman
easy.
Kodak has to lead, so Board
What are
Bill
you,
91.
Oh,
He's
okay.
91.
And I'll be in the other room if you
91.
guys need me.
Oh, there's
I can't move
We
this
just
call.
heard what you said.
Oh, sorry.
So
All
we're
right.
just trying to help you along.
Thank you very much, Sharon. Okay,
91,
this
I
is
got it.
91?
Yes.
All right. Thanks, guys.
If I get one more email about 17th Street.
Oh, my gosh.
That is, for the record, it is not in the
It's
7th.
not yours.
I know, but now all the lawyers downtown are calling me and like,
Yeah.
well, you're a lawyer, Sharon, you always vote no, how come you're voting yes now?
It's an
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Board Bill 91 is an alley vacation bill to vacate the alley, it'd be a north-south alley, I've got a map for you guys, between Barton and Victor Street, 7th and 9th Street, as part of the Polar Wave Phase 2 redevelopment. Aspirant Development recently developed the old ice house on the corner of that'd be 9th and Barton into 42 market rate apartments, and the old warehouse next to it as the garage for that building. And now they have acquired the basically all the land surrounding them, which includes a Victor Ironworks warehouse and a steel fabrication company. And their plan is to scrape those buildings and build a 5-story market rate, 120 unit development, 118 unit development at a cost of about $20 million. The development has been approved by the neighborhood, the Soulard Restoration Group, the Soulard Restoration Group's plan review team, so it's been vetted by the neighborhood. They're continuing to stay involved in the project to work out the details as it relates to some of the architectural touches. It's also been approved by the Preservation Board of the city and Cultural Resources, both the demolition and the design of the building. Further, they've received a use variance from the Board of Adjustment, because this is actually still zoned industrial. And they've also received a parking variance because it has a 0.75 parking ratio, not quite a 1-to-1, which the code requires for new construction. This is sort of just a run-of-the-mill vacation. Basically, the way this thing's gonna lay out, and I'll show around a picture. This is essentially your alley currently, and it's gonna be part of the development. So the development will wrap around it.
Wait a minute, where's the alley?
This is about where the alley
Alley
is
is
now,
where's the
because this is the building he just developed.
Okay.
This is the
Will
proposed new
they share
building.
parking?
Yes, so the parking will all be internally, and then this will be more parking, and then there's some additional parking. Well, this is a parking lot, the parking garage as well. So, with that, I'm happy to answer any questions, and I would ask for your favorable consideration of Board Bill 91.
One question, it's
Sure.
not anywhere near 17th Street, is it?
Nowhere near
Are
17th
we gonna
Street.
get emails?
Okay.
You
I
will
make
get no
the move.
emails.
I move that we pass this out with a due, just as
Second.
recommendation.
Second, previous row.
Any members of the committee have a comment?
We already did a motion, second,
Did
and
anybody
previous
at
roll.
home that would like to comment on it?
We're with them.
If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Now, he
Make
said,
a motion.
Second,
Make a motion.
previous row.
As long as
All
it's
right,
not by
Board Bill
7.
91 is out.
Thank you, guys, I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Board Bill 82.
Alderwoman Murphy, she's here,
Where's she at?
right here, Alderwoman.
oh, I got
Murphy.
so many, you guys can do yours, as long as you don't leave me.
You gonna let me go?
Because
before you?
Alderwoman Tyus.
As long as you don't
has a
leave
bunch
me.
of
If you leave now, you can't do it.
Oh,
I'm not leaving.
92.
Okay,
I'm not leaving.
get yours done.
Okay,
Go
then we
ahead and
should-
knock yours out.
Okay, I'll come up.
Where is yours? I don't have it.
It
92.
is 92, it's,
It
it's
must be a one page.
alley
Oh, yeah,
vacation That's really not an alley. We thought it was part of Christie Park all along, but I guess somewhere on the books.
It's an alley or right away.
Well, we need to see those. I don't have pretty colored pictures.
You're not in Sula. That's only certain people can have things like that.
I'll pass this obnoxious thing around. This is the section we are trying to vacate. The city has this on the books as an alley. It's actually Christie Park, and it's in the front of this person's house. We are in no way obstructing the alley. The alley, as it is now, goes here and makes a turn here and goes out. And so that's what the refuge trucks use.
Okay.
And we were never even aware of the fact that it was an alley. This is Christie Park.
It's a roadway? In the
It's,
park?
no, it's a park.
It's green?
It's green
Okay.
grass and trees. And the homeowner just wanted to clear that up. And so I agreed, and if everyone else is in, compliance, I would appreciate your, favorable, motion on this. It's not, like I said, it's not even an alley. It's all green space.
I'd like to make a, I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, go right on, Alderman.
I'd like to make a motion that we pass, Board Bill 92.
92.
I would do pass motion.
With the due pass
Second.
recommendation.
Previous roll.
Request for previous roll.
Thank
Board
you.
Bill 92 is out.
It wasn't even an alley, I mean, that we even knew.
Alderman Conway asked to be excused, and he would like for, someone to handle his bill. Alderman Conway.
I will handle Alderman Conway's bill.
Okay.
You gotta answer, now we wanna ask a lot of questions. Okay,
Uh-huh.
now
Hey, look, it's Conway stuff. I need
okay,
to
that's
read.
right. We want about 10 questions, and you gotta answer them all right, Jack.
Okay.
Are we doing Conway's? 33? Okay.
I actually know about this, I lived
Do you?
here. I used to live in.
You wanna handle this one?
I lived in the 7th for 12, 8, 9, 10 years.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. We're here on Board Bill 33, which is a board bill to vacate the subsurface rights. What is this? I'm trying to know what it is. Is it an alley or a street?
No, it's a little triangle right there by O'Connell's at Kings
Oh,
Highway
okay.
and, Kings Highway and,
Okay,
Shaw.
the little triangle there.
There,
All right,
yes.
I know where we're talking, right at Kings Highway and Shaw
Yeah.
by the great burger joint, O'Connell's.
That's right.
And that is now, you now know everything I know.
So what does he want to do with that? What do they want to do?
There, that's good.
That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that.
I guess I do. I got it.
Is anyone, I don't know that anyone's here in opposition to,
Are you guys here to give us more information about this?
No.
Okay.
so I
Cause
would,
I would like to know what O'Connell thinks about this.
I think they want it. It has something to do with straightening out Shaw.
So,
You know how there was a jog
Yeah,
there?
exactly.
It's something to do with straightening out Shaw while they're working on the Kings Highway overpass.
might as well get this done.
And right, and I've talked to Mr. Parker, that's his name, the
Right.
fellow that owns O'Connell, and he was in concurrence with whatever was going on there. He's gonna get some, it's gonna do something with his parking.
He getting cobblestones.
Well, and it's somehow they're gonna straighten out the street, but he ends up with more parking, so he was kinda happy,
okay.
okay?
That was a much better explanation of the bill than I could have
Yeah.
provided,
See,
Mr. Chairman.
This is mine.
I've known to frequent that bar on occasion. Talk to the owner.
When I was young.
It is in Alderman Conway's ward,
Mushrooms.
right?
It is,
Yes.
He
yes.
did ask you to handle it, right?
He did.
Yeah.
That's good enough for me. Are
Okay.
there any questions on Board Bill 33? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Second,
Previous row.
The request for the previous roll 33 is up.
we got,
Me now.
Alderman Carter,
it's you, sir.
Alderman Carter,
Board Bill 88.
is he a member of the committee?
Yes,
Why is he in front of Alderwoman Tyus?
because she has a whole bunch you can do
So I
all
wanted
of
to
hers
just be
together.
last, so
Oh,
I
you gonna
would,
do all yours together?
yes,
As
sir,
long
if
as
you
it's
don't
all
mind.
right with you, Alderman.
Yes, sir. Long as they don't leave, that wouldn't be okay. Okay, thank you.
You ready? Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. This is probably one of the most simplest bills that we'll see this year in this committee. All this is doing is creating a traffic calming policy for us so we can utilize things to slow down some of the speeding and reckless driving on our residential streets. I have Deanna Vinker and Jamie with us to talk a little bit more about the process and procedures if you guys have any questions. But all this is doing is putting the policy into play and giving us more more accessibility to slow down reckless drivers on our residential streets. So with that, I'll take questions.
Are there any questions on Board Bill 83?
88.
I got 83.
Board Bill 88.
Well, where is it in? I don't have
I have an extra copy, Mr. Chairman, so there you go.
it. I need a copy. I don't know whether it needs to be extra or not, but it wouldn't matter
Board Bill 88.
as long as I got a copy. You must have my copy.
That could have been.
I could have, Jan. If you got extra and I have none. Are there any questions of the Alderman? Yes.
I just have one question, and I'm sure Deanna can answer. How's it gonna be, or who is going to determine where these go? I mean, it's not just gonna be up to the alder person. Is there gonna be like a traffic study, which is what I'm going for, you know, kind of thing?
Well, so it's gonna be up to.
Otherwise, everybody's gonna want them. I mean,
Right.
I can see my people on the phone right now, as soon as this hits the, you know.
Yeah.
It's
well,
already hit.
You know, well, no, but I mean, when this passes,
Yeah.
when this passes, everybody's gonna want this.
Right, and so it's up to us in the end to regulate them just in terms of cost, because we have to pay for it out
Okay,
of our
good point.
capital improvement money. But Deanna can talk about
That's
who it's
what
up
I
to,
want,
because
yeah.
I am
They
not
did a good job with me. They met with me.
That's what I wanna know.
We're getting ready to do ours too.
Not that
Yeah.
I wanna pass the buck
No,
to
and that's,
streets, but I
We
want.
should.
and,
We should.
and that was the intent.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm Commissioner Venker with the City Streets Department. I'm the Commissioner of Traffic. We had worked with a bunch of aldermen, and we have kind of worked through best practices throughout the country. And the key is with this is we want to make sure that we are doing sound engineering guidelines and on the placement of them. So we will give a recommendation on the location. We'll certainly work with the aldermen so that we aren't taking away all the parking away for a resident, multiple residents. So we'll work and find the best placement of that traffic calming
Okay.
feature.
We should know
Um,
where they are.
But the intent is to have an engineering background, sound judgment behind it.
Excellent. That was my concern. And then also, because like I said, I can hear the phone calls already. Where can we not use these?
Currently within our policy, the locations that we are not looking, there's some criteria that needs to be on a low volume residential street. I believe it's under 2,000 average daily traffic.
And
which
would that
really-
be measured by one of those things?
Which we have some traffic counts already, otherwise that we will do a traffic count if needed. Shouldn't be on a very hilly route, so if you have a grade of over 8%, that's going to affect where we can place speed humps.
Okay.
You may be able to use other traffic calming features instead, but for the placement of the humps, that the hill is something to consider. We don't want it on a snowplow route.
Snow route, okay.
We don't want it on a major bus route, which really kind of comes into
They're usually the
the-
same as the snow route. I mean,
yeah,
say, a lot of times
and
it's-
how high volume your street is.
Right,
So,
right.
those are certain things, we kind of left it open that if we find something else that, hey, this is really a problem, we have the ability to adjust and make those accommodations for it.
Okay, so then aside from the bumps, I mean, I know I like it, like I said, I can hear my phone ringing. What are some of the other calming things that we can offer the people?
Certainly. So outside of, we have a toolbox essentially that's come into play. So humps is just one feature. We've used bump outs, and we've done those lots of locations around the city already. And that's where the curve around the intersections get narrowed in.
Right, okay.
There are islands such as what's called a splitter island, which basically installs an island down the middle of the intersection, putting that separation between one direction and the other. All these items basically are narrowing that perception of view of the drivers so that they feel that they need to drive slower. That's the intent. So you can do it with trees, you can do it with vehicles, if the vehicle comes in closer, you can do it with islands. So you're trying to, again, narrow that perception, field of vision with that driver.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions on Board Bill 88? Alderman from the ninth.
I've already gotten 2 phone calls. One
I know, oh,
one
I know.
con, you know, but I think that whoever put it out to the media, they needed to really specify speed bump and speed hump. You know, it's not a speed bump. I mean, I got a guy now that's really excited because he wants a speed bump in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
Well, I thought they did. Mine, the one I saw, they talked about humps specifically.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
said
Well,
humps, and
the
I
meeting
told
I
the
was in was
difference.
specific humps because I was giving Janie trouble
Right.
too, because that came up
Humps.
right after, you know, I met with him. But I think it's really important, you know, that gets out, that a speed
Hump is
hump,
different than a bump.
you know, is like 4 inches possibly tall and 12 to 15 feet long. You know, it's not a speed bump in the road. And then not every place is gonna be able to qualify, because a lot of people are gonna want them, and they may be on a street where you're not gonna get them.
Right.
So, and I think this is a bill, this is only my other 2 cents worth, that's been a long time coming, you know, because of the whole toolbox. You know, we need some guidelines for traffic calming, you know, because if you look where I live, close to Limpin Arsenal, some idiot come flying up Arsenal going west. They were actually racing down Broadway, speeds up to 100 miles an hour, came up Arsenal, hit a car at Limp, and crashed into the Benton Park Cafe. He actually took a street tree out, which probably slowed him down, and crashed. These kind of idiots are not gonna, you know, a speed hump or anything isn't gonna stop them. So, but I think it's a long time in coming, and we need the toolbox. We need, you know, a set toolbox to try to choose from in areas that we do have problems, besides stop signs.
Thank you.
You're next.
Well, I have another question. So when we get these phone calls, the first thing we should tell our constituents is that I'm gonna call the traffic commissioner and we're gonna look at it. Okay, so that would be the first, you know, thing to go. Good, I like this.
And you have to have money to allocate to
Exactly.
have
Well,
it.
yes,
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
well, yeah, I
That's
understand
another
that.
thing.
If you have money to allocate and you're willing, otherwise you can kind of say if you want to look around for other funding, so you have
Right.
options.
Right.
Okay. Gotcha.
Are there any other questions on Board Bill 88?
I need to add them.
Are there any other questions on Board Bill 88?
Okay, let me just,
You guys.
Call the lady from the first.
so do we have to incorporate this as a comprehensive plan? Is that what you're looking for? Because, you know, like, in my ward, we had already been closing streets off for 20-something years, okay? And where we wanna put the humps are triple streets, so do we need to necessarily incorporate it? Is that what you're looking for, so we can have a plan that's in place, or can we do it a little at a
Street
time?
by street, yeah.
This is definitely a street, a little bit at a time, just, and then that really comes down to funding.
Right.
At this point, because we're just not in that position to roll this out.
Right.
So I think we're going to have to do it little bits at a time as developments come through, or we see the opportunity or need to make those changes.
And, just refresh my memory, cause I like, you know, we've been having meetings at ours, but, so the humps, when they get ready to pave, how does that affect paving?
The paving, actually, they can either just go right up over the top of them.
Go to?
Yeah, they can go either, if they are milling, some streets
Right.
get milled
Yeah.
first, they can just mill right up to them, as long as they're in good condition.
Okay.
Or they can basically reconstruct them at the time.
But if they have to reconstruct, then you would have to pay for another hump, right?
I think if they're already there, we would be able to work
They'll be able to, yeah,
within
go
the
right over.
confines, you'd be able to mill right over the hump and reconstruct the
What's
hump with
what's the
thing.
hump constructed of?
They can either be constructed of asphalt, or they can be constructed of concrete.
Okay,
They do have such options, they're called speed cushions, they're in the exact same shape as a hump, and they're a rubberized,
Right.
plushy,
Right.
kind of material.
and those, do we just take in, and if they're the rubber, do we set that in and then put asphalt over it, or just set it on top
Nope,
of
they
it?
just get set in top and nailed into the asphalt or concrete street.
Those may be better, cause you
And-
can move them.
You can move them, yeah, no.
What's the time frame once you get something like this passed? How long are we anticipating it'll take? Since BPS takes forever to do anything. The street department does not. You guys get my stuff done really fast, but,
Yeah,
Alderman, that's a,
They're scared of you.
oh, no, they're not. Shit, I have Carla. What? I thought you loved me. My heart is hurt.
I love you, but I'm scared of you too.
Okay, well, that's the way men should be, okay?
Alderwoman, our plan is to have them a process in place so that they're done expeditiously as possible. We are working with the Board of Public Service so that they're on their on-call contract, so they don't have to design them every time.
Yeah.
It is
It's 3
a
bits.
set design. We've already got it on call, so
Thank
they
you.
don't have to go through
This
it
person
and do
is
it
smart.
3 times.
She should be the head of BPS, okay, seriously.
So we've worked through and thought about those processes and ideas so we can try to speed it up.
Saying all of that, I noticed how you
Yeah.
didn't give me no time frame.
You know, it's out of my.
I know, because it's in
hands and my
BPS where they
hands.
sit for 10 years.
But I can tell you that,
Okay.
as you know, we've worked
I know
to
you
get
guys do
these
your
things
job.
done,
I know.
and we keep following up with the other departments so that.
So
things
what we
get
need to do
done.
is, what we had done at one time when street departments, when the 50-50 sidewalk, we split the 50-50 sidewalk up into more than one contract, and maybe we need to look at what we can do to BPS, because that is totally ridiculous. I'm hearing it from so many aldermen.
Yeah, you gotta wait so.
You gotta wait so long, so you're putting all this stuff up here and you're not getting the stuff done. And that's just, you know, then you tell people, once you put this out, because Chris put this out, everybody calls you, okay?
Yep, yep.
So I've already met with my people to say, yeah, here, these are some of the things we've picked. But, if it's gonna take 2 years, they're not gonna be happy about
So,
that.
Alderman, that's
That's another
actually
conversation. I
Absolute
understand.
great idea, though, and I will take it back to
Right.
Rich Bradley and
I
have
will
that
too.
discussion. And,
Right.
I know we did it with
Right.
the security camera systems where we went out and had those done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a
I'm still-
process
I'm
too,
still waiting.
but maybe this is another on-call kind
Yeah.
of contract that are already set up, so.
Right.
Don't bring cameras up around me.
Sorry.
Okay.
Are you still waiting?
That's all. Thank you, Mr.
Okay,
Chairman.
are there any other question on Board Bill 88? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Request for previous
Previous
roll.
roll.
Request for previous roll, 88 is up.
Thank you.
Okay.
We got 83 next.
Alderwoman Tyus, is there a certain order, or you want us to go?
We'll do the easy ones first, because I'm, the one about vending is not, it's just gonna be for, to discuss, so let me get them.
Which one you wanna call next? Cause they're yours.
We'll just,
You do 82, that's the big first one, is that
let
the
me
one you?
see here.
Whatever she wants.
82 is fine.
Well, I don't have 82 in front of me.
82.
82 is the first one. This
I
is
got
2 pages.
83, 84, 85, 88, but I don't have an 82.
I didn't do that.
Here's the 82, Alderman.
Donna did that on purpose.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Here's the 82, you have one?
No, he just gave it to me.
All right, it's in the stack.
Okay, do you have?
Alderwoman Tyus,
Okay.
you want? Here's a calendar letter, so she can see what order.
Thank you.
That's right, she may get one hot.
I'm going up there. I don't find it to be the hot seat.
I know you
I
don't.
like it.
It's a favorite place to be,
I
I know.
like it. I'm comfortable. I spent my first 12 years on street, so I came back here. I just came back home. Okay, I was the vice chair for a lot of years on street. Okay, so let's start with 82. 82 is a bill to vacate all commercial drives. And let me tell you what all these Terry things are being driven by. So there's several bills I have here. And the reason why I'm doing this is because 20-something years ago, we started a traffic plan of closing streets in the 4900 blocks. Most of you all, if you've driven down Kingshighway, you know that. And when I got here in 91, we started doing it in 92. Unfortunately, I had a 10-year break, or this would have all been done. But when I came back here, we've been working with people because where I live in the Kingsway East neighborhood, it's straight. So you can drive from like the 4400 block straight up. And when I got into office, people were just cutting through and having all the same problems that the alderman from the 9th was. So we started closing streets off, and we did them one by one. I have a system that we do. You have to have a petition, you have to have at least 60% or more. I usually get 90 to 100% of the people, and we don't do it if it's if people, the majority of people don't want it, we don't do it. Terry was one of the streets that had a big problem. We ended up back in the I don't know, in the 90s or early 2000s, we turned, Terry used to be one way, 4900 block was one way. headed east. But there were a gas station at St. Louis Avenue that we had closed down, and we got rid of that. And then there was a little small Clark gas station that was just very minimal, but they were still putting traffic on that residential street. And so we turned it around, and that stopped that. And we had a quiet street, and they were okay. When I came back here in '93, Salamas had got the property under Troop, and he was planning a gas station and a store, which we were opposed. My neighborhood is still opposed to it. They built it anyway. Talked to Mr. Bradley, and I'm up in BPS, who told me he would not okay it. Told me on the phone that he would not okay it. Then they went behind my back and they okayed it anyway. I didn't get the notice until after it was held. I met with Sam Salama, told him me and my neighborhood was gonna fight it till hell freezes over. If you don't know anything about me, you should know if I'm against something, I'm against it, and I will continue to fight you. So in the meantime, they built this big gas station, and they put the entry and exit way onto Terry, which is a residential street. Any of y'all come up know that's some of my nicest streets I have in the whole North St. Louis, okay? And so now they have it so you have to come down the street and come on Terry to go to the gas station. It's a bad placement. We didn't just come and say we're against it. First of all, we're not in need of any gas stations in North St. Louis. If you come on Kingshighway, it looks like the gas station ghetto. It is horrible. We have a gas station at Kingshighway in Delmar, Alderman in Delmar, Alderman in Kingshighway, Martin Luther King is in Kingshighway, and now this one opposed at St. Louis Avenue, which I have now requested a blighting with eminent domain. I intend to blight it. I intend to do anything to get rid of it. It is ridiculous. They gave it 24 hours to be open on a residential street. They put nothing on it. They just let them do anything. And there's another one at Kingshighway and Natural Bridge. So there's no need. And then there's 5 up and down Martin Luther King. There is such a black backlash in my community you wouldn't believe. They're going to be picketing it. They're going to go to the mayor's house. They're going to go to Rich's house. We're going to be out there. We're going to make them understand that we are opposed to this gas station and to Salamas. We have crime statistics like this on Salamas. There's been murders up there. Everything that you can think about is happening at Salamas. They closed 2 in South Louis and forced this one in our community. Well, I can't do anything about what BPS does, but we are legislators here. So this is to vacate all their commercial driveways and curb cuts that are in the 4900 block of Terry, which is a residential street. If they want to come off of Kingshighway, they already had a curb cut, which they closed up. That's their business, but they are not. We're closing it permanently, along with a companion bill, because we have a temporarily closed already. We're closing it permanently, and in order for us to make it a 2-way street and to be able to do a roundabout, we need that in there, okay? So they haven't done it. They're actually in violation of ordinance that we passed, but I haven't pushed it, but I want to make it permanent before we start going to court about this, because I will take them to court, because that is absolutely ridiculous what they've done. And everybody denies that they had anything to do with it. Now everybody's like, no, 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 no. The mayor's office is like, oh, we're not for it. Everybody's not for it, but it got done through BPS. I have made it known to anybody who talked to me that this man attempted to bribe me. I have told you all. I went to the FBI on him. He told me he was going to get it done. He told me that he gave Troop's niece Kayla $50,000, and when you look at the package, she was in the package. All of this, I've told anybody who would listen, because I want to know if it's illegal for me to take a bribe. Is it illegal for him to offer a bribe? I'm actually writing to Loretta Lynch right now. I don't mean for this to go away, but in the meantime, the only way I know how to protect my community is to they may have given a driveway, but to take the curb cuts away and also prohibit them from putting any more commercial curb cuts on a residential street. It is absolutely ridiculous. Now, they may take us to court and say that's a taking. That's okay with me. I'm willing to defend whatever, because I already won at federal court last time somebody took me to court. We are allowed to do this. BPS can give it, but we can take it away, because we're the legislators. And that's why you want to make sure you get along with the alderperson, and that person is supporting what you're doing, okay? Because I do know how to come back and undo what you did. So this is to take commercial traffic and to vacate driveways to gas stations off of the 4900 block of Terry.
But this is in your ward,
It
isn't it?
is.
I have a question. Why wouldn't they just put them? I mean, I
On the
know
other
that
corner?
you're against it, but why won't they just But because this is off of Kingshighway, right?
They couldn't
Why
because,
wouldn't they just
because
go
I
off
had
Kingshighway?
done that before, when Sterling was the chair of LRA, and I was the alderperson, I had prohibited gas stations there. So this came, we've been working on
Oh,
this
so
for a
that's why
long
they had
time.
to use Terry.
So they had to
Okay.
try to put it in Terry, but it's not a good spot. I didn't close the alley.
Okay.
Everything that should have been done didn't. And I've gone to all the spots they put new gas stations in across the
So
city.
they're using the alley?
Which I'm not gonna vacate, and we turning the alley around to one way.
So
So they can't come in there either. Okay, because this is a no. They didn't listen to no means no, okay? So I've just gone along with it as long as I can. Now and Sam has agreed, we're gonna have some hearings on this. I wanna bring Rich to come down here and put his hands up and explain to us how you think it's okay to put the gas station someplace when it's been residential. If you go to my corner right now, it's 8 o'clock, it's quiet as it can be. It's no noise. We don't have any crime at that corner. 1 block away is Salamas,
Is that store?
and the crime has been horrible,
Yeah.
okay? So you force this on my corner. Now, nobody wants to talk about it now. When everybody I go to, Patrick Brown, oh, the mayor's not for it. Nobody's here. You see the mayor's, they're not here because they're not for it, okay? Because I told them, I'm going to tell on you all now. So I don't care, just blight this property, make it go away, city eat it up, whatever we need to do. But they're not going to put a gas station on that corner. That will kill the rest of my neighborhood, okay? That will absolutely make the people move. And it's dangerous, and it's irresponsible, and Rich Bradley ought to be ashamed of himself for lying to me like that. And I want it on the record, because I'm very angry, and I'm going to come after him.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been there.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know.
Exactly. You don't put that, and plus if there's no need, and it's a F commercial, it's supposed to serve the community, not take away from the community. And when I said this all in the hearing, when we came to testify against the store, I kept saying, Salamas bribed me. He had Patty Hageman, our former city councilor there. He had lawyers, not one lawyer. If I'm a lawyer and somebody's saying my client bribed somebody, I'm going to be saying, I object. You can get the record. They never objected because they tried to bribe me on several occasions. Laid his little Mercedes-Benz thing up there and said, you ever ridden in one of this? I said, yeah, I ride in one every day. Got one bigger than yours. Now what? This is the stuff I've been dealing with. So that is why I'm here with this proposed board bill to turn into an ordinance so that we can get commercial traffic off a street that hasn't had commercial traffic on it in 50 years or more, and also has a thing that says no commercial traffic that's been posted up there. So it's nothing that they should have expected to be able to come this way. It's something that also our city councilor, Mr. Garvin, was involved in, slurking around in the backgrounds. I want to call all these people out. I want them to come and explain to me how you do this. I want somebody to be responsible. So now I'm ready to take them on. I just wanted to get enough evidence of what they have been doing. And so now this is why I'm doing this. It's because this is all I know to do. Because I just think this is the most irresponsible gas station in the world. And I could see if we were someplace where we didn't have gas, but you can actually walk to gas 5 minutes any way you want to go to it.
Are there any questions of any members of the committee on Board Bill 82? No, members of the committee, honey, first. Okay.
Yeah, you did.
Now, no other members of the committee has your name.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Alderwoman, I can certainly appreciate everything that you said, and like you've mentioned, we are working on closing off that and creating the turnaround
Right.
so that the street can be cut off. And I can absolutely appreciate your master plan in the area to make this a residential, safe, quiet zone for the community. What I was informed this morning through the director of streets, he could not be here, but he wanted to relay his concern is that he did sign off on it, and he thinks that per charter that it is the director of streets' power to close or open, create entrances, and he just wanted to make sure that that was on the record and that this might be illegal.
Better finish,
There you
because
go.
I already did
Good.
the research.
Very good. So with that, I will turn it back over to Mr. Chair.
They can grant, and that's what legislators are for, to take away. He does have his power. He did his job. I'm doing mine now. Specifically, they have to do whatever is consistent with the law. We make the laws, not them, okay? So that's why people always tell you, get the automatic approval. because we can take it. Just like when Supreme Court says something it's not legal, long as you go back and make it legal, it's legal, okay? But you have to go within the perimeters. That he does not have unconditional right to vacate streets. And you're not putting, first of all, it has to go along, this is what it says, consistent with public use. That's not consistent with public use. It was not commercial in the first place. They put this big thing up in here that's not consistent. It's been residential, it's been quiet. In fact, the other property got cleaned off when Sterling was the chair. My husband was the chair of LRA, and he cleaned it off and did all the cleaning. And it was never supposed to be a gas station. Originally, when we started talking to Salamas back in the 90s, it was Mike who died. And it was supposed to be a grocery store like this is what with Straub's. It was supposed to be a Straub's. It was not supposed to be all of this. So that's fine. He can do whatever he wants to. That's just like they may grant or take away a stop sign. But we can change that. And 20 people can override the mayor's veto. Okay? So I'm not, I understand what he did, Mr. Rundy did. But what I'm asking us to do is to do the right thing for the people who live in my community, which is what you want on Palm or any of those streets, for them to come and put a gas station up there and then put the gas station's entrance off of Palm and all those streets you closed up there. Would any of you all want that on your street?
No.
Well, you're the older lady up there, aren't you?
I am.
And you do speak for the people, right?
I do. And I
And
came
if they
back.
don't like what you say,
They will.
on election day, they know what to do.
I got 100% people on the streets and all up and down for it, okay? They said if you want a petition, they'll send you 200 to 500 votes. Nobody wants this. He actually went and got his petition signed, nursing homes, people in the county. He brought in the drunks and stuff. He brought in drunks. I have this. He brought in the people who cause the problems, who hang around and get drunk, and that's the people he brought in to testify for our community. So us homeowners came down and they listened to the people who caused the problems because they don't live in our community and they don't care what happens in my community. And Rich has made a very big mistake, miscalculation, because you all know me. This is war now.
Well, I hate to be at war against you.
He
Are there any
brought-
questions
yeah,
on
live
Board
license.
Bill 82?
But he doesn't
Any
have one up there.
comments from any members of the committee on Board Bill 82?
I'd like to make a motion,
Second.
previous row.
Well, no objections to the previous roll, Board Bill 82 is up.
Okay, thank you.
Well, you won the first battle.
Let's go to the second one. This is, to be specific, at
Wait a
Board Bill
minute.
83.
Well, hold
I
on.
need to tell what number, 83. Announce 83. The next
Okay, next is Board Bill 83, is that right? All right.
So Board Bill 83 is companion. It is, since they decided to put commercial traffic on Terry, this is prohibit commercial traffic and semis and all such things on Terry. It's a definition of what is commercial, and just to make sure that they understand this is a residential street. It is all zoned A and B. It's 1-4 family on the corner. It's all zoned A and B, so this is just to make sure they understand, going along with, even if you said you can't close the driveway, you can't come down the street to get to it, okay? So, we got many more like this. So this is just preventing commercial traffic, and we've done this many times. We just did this from, Cara, just an alderwoman from the 20s, just a few weeks ago. Standard.
This is in your ward,
It
isn't it?
is.
And you are the older lady out there, right?
I am,
And
for the second
You should
time.
know better than anybody else what you would like to have in your ward, right?
That's correct.
I support you.
Thank you.
Are there any questions on Board Bill 83? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second, previous row.
On request of previous roll, 83 is up.
Okay, what's the next one?
84.
Okay. I don't know if you all know that Father Lou Times died the other day.
Yes.
He actually was, he lived in the 5200 block of Lotus. We had this bill introduced last term, but we didn't get it out in time. So luckily I had already reintroduced it. Somebody's walking the petition right now. And they have many, many signatures. And so we were trying to get this done. And I will, if you all will pass it out, I will bring you the petition before we do anything past the second reading, but we anticipate having almost everybody sign it, okay? Just wanted to kind of honor him, be at his funeral to tell them that we were working on this, and I'm sorry we didn't get it done. And it's an honorary street designation that we didn't get it done while he was living. I'm really feeling bad about that. We should have got that done. You give people their flowers while they're living. Yeah, but so it's just to do a honorary street in his name.
Are there any questions on Board Bill 84? Not all entertain a
So
motion.
moved.
Second.
Previous row.
All right. Board Bill 85.
Oh, you got it.
I wanna do that last, that's the vending, is that all right with you? Because we're
Whatever you
gonna-
wanna do is
Okay.
fine with me.
Okay, well, she has Board Bill 95
Okay,
on the next page.
all right.
Well, wait a minute, I don't have 90. There it
We
is,
got
right
90.
there.
Board Bill 95.
97, okay.
Okay.
So, moving right along with preventing nuisances in my community. Right now, there is no business that stays open past 7 or 8 o'clock up and down Kingshighway. Since they gave this gas station no limits on how long you can stay open, they actually have 24 hours. So, we got together and said, isn't it a nice thing to have things, since it's a F neighborhood business, and F neighborhood business is to serve the people. We don't need gas at 12 and 1 and 2 o'clock at night, okay? So our proposal is to close all the businesses up and down Kingshighway, who are already closed anyway, and not let any more open. And then we're doing an exception for Natural Bridge and Kingshighway, which is our commercial strip, okay? But other than that, all the way down, people close at 7 o'clock, and they don't get to stay open till 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning for a gas station. There is no emergency, and it does not serve the the neighborhood. It is going to be a nuisance. So this is a proposal to close by 7, and also not to let any more pole signs, which they are applying for one as we speak, but unfortunately they're applying for the ones that I already had done the zoning, which prohibits pole signs. So when they get there, they will find out there's a zoning already against that. But just in case they try to put it on another piece of land, we don't need pole signs. If you're in the neighborhood, people already know who you are. If you're servicing the neighborhood, you don't need a pole sign. You only need that if you're trying to get people outside the neighborhood. Then you're not a neighborhood business. So I just want to keep them well within what they said they were going to do, serve the neighborhood.
I have a question.
Are there any questions on Board Bill 95?
And this is more so of me not knowing. So when you close them at, so
They're not open. They're not open
right,
yet.
but so every business would have to close at 7
They
p.m.?
already are closed.
Hmm.
Drive down Kingshighway at that. That's why we picked that time, because they're already closed. So don't you want to do what the other businesses are doing in the community?
Yeah.
Why do we need to buy gas at 2 o'clock? If we do, then we can go to Martin Luther King and Kingshighway. We can go to Kingshighway and Natural Bridge. We can go to Kingshighway and Union. We can go to Kingshighway and Hodemont. We can go
So
to
all they
Kings.
doing here is following suit with the other businesses, right?
They're gonna be
So let
doing.
me ask this. So what if it was? And I'm just asking this because I don't know. What if you had a business that was already operating, and they closed at 10? Would they then have to? Would this trump their conditional use, or no? You'll have to go back.
No,
and-
there's something called.
I'm just asking for me. I'm not asking
Well,
for you.
so I don't want to tell all my secrets, but I will tell you if you need to know. I can. So there are some things that are grandfathered in, okay? So they may be grandfathered. That's why I
Yeah, no,
I
like I have a
exempted.
place on West Florissant, and you know what place I'm talking about? They open 24 hours. They've been open 24 hours for the past like 20 years. Liquor and everything.
I can tell you. I don't want to tell everything.
Well, I will talk.
Wait a minute,
I just want to ask.
I know you want to learn. So what I'll do is I'll tell you how to do it off of this camera.
Okay, all right.
Then I'll tell you
Yeah.
how we can do it holistically as it applies to liquor license. You can put, when they get ready to renew their liquor licenses, you can put conditions on and ask for conditions that will help you. I told you there's something, there's a special use district that was created in 2005. You put that as an overlay. Kate Shea had told me about that before I left, and I didn't get a chance, but since I've been back, I've already pulled it. And I will, any of you all want to know more about it, you put that on it, and you put restrictions about when things can close, when they can open, what actually can be there, and it's like a overlay, so that whenever something goes to zoning, you don't have to keep trying to say, I don't want this, this, and that. You just, and that's what I actually, you and I was going to approach you anyway, because I wanted to do it together with some things
Let's do
that
it.
we touched.
Let's do it.
I actually have the board bill that Dion and April Ford Griffin did it in 2005. Dion was the primary sponsor of the special use district, I think, in 2005, and then she and April did one. But Kate Shea had, when she was over at Heritage, had already told me about this. So I've been asking about it, and everybody over at SLDC act like they didn't know what I was talking about. So I just kept going, and I found it myself online
Okay.
with my research.
Okay. Yeah. Let's talk about that.
Are there any questions or comments on Board Bill 95? If not,
Second. Did you make the motion?
No one made a motion.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'll
No,
make a
no,
motion.
let's take a motion.
Second.
Yeah.
Previous row.
if no objections, Board Bill 95 is out.
Got Bill 96 next. 96.
Okay,
Well, wait a minute, do I?
we like this, okay? You'll get to your meeting if you have one.
Oh, I'm done.
Oh,
I got another one.
okay.
I got one.
Well, we have a 1 o'clock.
We got neighborhood at one.
We
Right.
have neighborhood development.
I'm just gonna stay here so that I'm here for you. Okay, Board Bill 96, since we haven't got our thing closed and since I'm having problems with BPS, they asked me just to go ahead and make it permanent. They don't even want to deal with temporary. They just want it permanent. They had already turned in a petition with 80-something percentage of the people, and since the BPS is just making them nervous, so we want to make it permanent, and that is to close Wabata. It's a triple street, but it's a really wide street, and right at when you're headed west, about 75 feet from Union, there is a cross alley that intersects Wabata, and they want to close it there because they're the only double street in that whole. We got triple streets from Martin Luther King over to St. Louis Avenue are all triple streets. And so we have been having speeding forever, okay? So the commissioner's done such a good job, because I still would make her the head of BPS, but that's okay. Okay, she ain't saying I say it. I'm a style, okay? It's a whole bunch of alder people would do that. But anyway, she has done such a good job, and they have worked with me to put some speed humps and some other things that Alderman Carter is going to do. But Wabata will be the most adversely impacted because they are two ways. So we want to close them down before we do the other things, because we don't want to force all the traffic onto Wabata. And then they have started a really strong block unit and are really out there working. And we have we're planting trees and doing some things. And they still have a substantial amount of single family houses there. So they said they'll get to it later, but they don't trust what's going on with the process. So they want their street permanently closed.
Okay. This is in the first ward, right?
It is, formerly known as the 20th Ward. I'm the Alderwoman formerly known as.
21.
Are there any questions on Board Bill 96? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Request for the
Previous row.
previous roll. Board Bill 96 is out with a due pass recommendation.
And we have 97.
Is that what's next? That
Yeah.
comes after 96? I'm so glad you're here.
This is Terry.
97.
97 is 4900 block of Terry, permanently closing them also. They also in violation right now because the street is supposed to be closed. There's a past ordinance signed by the mayor, but we're not gonna go into that, and so we really could do a mandamus to make them do this, but we're just gonna go along with this, and we are gonna permanently close it in the 4900 block at Kingshighway. There's an emergency clause, and it definitely is an emergency since the gas station is getting ready to open any minute now. And we want to permanently close it so that there's no way to get out, no way to get in, and no reason to be on Terry except if you live there.
Have signs been put up out there?
Oh, they already gave me 100% participation
Okay.
of the petition. Would you like the petition? I'll give you a copy of it.
No, it was in your ward. You know better than I do. Are there any questions on Board Bill 97?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I know we had talked about this through the Streets Closure Committee, and then the one thing that fire department needed was to be able to turn around and do that.
That's why we
The
need
turnaround.
that. That's exactly right.
So that would be,
I
one
understand.
stipulation that we talked about.
I understand, and I'm
Okay.
paying for it,
Very
okay?
good. That's
And
good.
that's why we're gonna take
Yeah.
that apron away,
Right.
and we can put those nice big rocks up there, and then that'll be a nice turnaround, and we're gonna put a gate, so the fire can get it there. We have no problem with fire.
Very good.
We like fire,
That
we
was
like
the-
responders.
That was the one stipulation
We
that
are already
the
gonna do
committee
that.
had talked
I already
about, so
committed the money to it.
Thank you all.
There you go, wow.
Are there any other questions on Board Bill 97? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second, previous row.
Request for the previous roll, 97 is out.
Here comes the big.
Okay, now,
This is the
no, actually, no, this is, actually, you will like what I've done.
We
So,
heard this one before, 'cause this is one that I
yes,
want.
Yeah.
so this is Board Bill 85, but I have a committee substitute.
Yeah, right, we got it.
And I don't want to pass it out, but I did do a yeoman's work on it in that I did a flow chart because people were saying how confused they were about stuff. So I wanted to just talk about it. I wanted people to have a chance to look at it, and then we could come back, and this doesn't have to be passed out today. I just wanted to answer questions and go over things so that we, this has taken a lot of work. It is it is the vending ordinance, and I tell you, when it is, I don't know how the police have been able to enforce this thing because there was so many different sections of it, and Phyllis must have amended and re-amended and changed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times in the last few years. But I went through each one of them. I made sure each of her stuff was in there, and then if she took it back out, I took it back out. I then went through and I did a flow chart of what is in this ordinance and what is being revoked, which ones were already revoked and when they were repealed, rather, when they were repealed. So that first page of the flow chart kind of talks about the, because they, from 1926 to 2008, we had several things that were repealed, so I listed those. Then I put in here the new ordinance that were proposed to be repealed under the bill and where they were in the new committee substitute. So if you look at the second page, it talks about the ordinance, the date it was approved, the subject matter, and, you know, like if you look at number 2, 65347, that was the Fourth Ward vending district. Back in 2001, Peggy Ryan, Alderwoman Ryan, and wanted the Fourth Ward taken out of the vending district. Well, we no longer have ward vending districts under the new committee substitute I've put together. So, but that's it. There's nothing in there about that. Alderwoman Young back in 2005 had done something about vending, and then she put a sunset clause and it terminated certain section. I actually liked that, so I put it back in there. And actually, in my committee substitute, I anything that I'm adding new, I highlighted it and underlined it. Okay, but the only thing that is I did not have is that Alderman Coder just did a vending bill for the Wharf District, and if you look on page 5 of 31, do you all have the committee substitute? And that's not
Yes.
before us. Okay.
I know they passed it out.
We do.
Okay.
That's what we had.
If you look at page 5 of the
Oh, yeah,
committee
here it is.
substitute,
Yeah.
and it's kind of a little highlight there, I refer to his old ordinance of 61362, but I also refer to any subsequent ordinance regulating the Wharf Vending District, which would be his new ordinance, which we would, once we get the number, we would need to put in. But I wanted everybody, because I think that Alderman Coder was concerned that I was trying to change some of his stuff. So his downtown vending with his parks, that's all in there. It tells you, if you look at it, it tells you what page to look to, okay? If he knew me longer, he would know, if I'm coming after you, that ain't how I do it. I do it just like I did it at this table. I never do backdoor stuff. This is just making sure that I wanted everybody to be able to read this, look at this if they had any questions, and then maybe we could bring this back and talk about it at a different time. And if we could put the committee substitute before us, just for discussion, and then if there are any other changes we needed, if people had changes, that we could do it as a minor amendment next time we meet with streets.
Where's the committee substitute? I don't have it. I just got board.
And all
bill
of these
85.
board bills are the ones that I attached so that you could see. So like if I refer to, ordinance 65061, that's attached. Okay, 65347, all those ordinances are attached, so you can read exactly what was in the ordinance, then it tells you where to look at in the committee substitute to see that it's also in that one, that I didn't leave anything out.
We doing a motion to put this before us.
Yes, ma'am.
We need to do a motion.
Okay,
to
I'll
discuss.
entertain a motion to place board bill 85, the committee substitute before the committee.
Second.
Nobody made the motion?
Oh, I think we.
I'll sit, I'll entertain a
Just to be
motion.
clear, we're not voting on this.
No.
Okay.
Just a
It's
discussion.
just for
moved.
discussion.
Yeah.
Okay, so he got.
Have been moved and seconded. Request for the previous room?
Previous vote.
All right.
For
Book
discussion.
85,
That's what I said
three,
originally. That's why I said, this is just so you will have it in your hand.
Right.
You can take it home, you can look at it, you can see what's all attached, if you have any questions, you know, if something is missing. And then, like I said, if you will look at the, like on page 1, the new ordinance that I'm proposing to repeal, they're highlighted. Any new wording, like prohibiting vending on any LRA-owned property on page 1, line 22, that's highlighted. So anything that's highlighted is new, okay? The only, section 4, that's kind of got a grayish highlight, and that is, again, because Alderman Coder just passed his wharf vending bill, and we don't have the new ordinance number yet, okay? Let's see here. If you go through page 9 of 31, one of the things that we were having a problem, Alderman Ortman knows about this, line 10, every license shall state the vending district in which the license shall be valid for, the licensee to legally operate their vending business, and every license shall instruct the licensee that the license is not legal in any other vending district or non-vending district. This is one of the problems we've had before, because once people get one of those little licenses, they think it's good for everywhere, and it's actually not. So the license collector said she didn't have a problem making sure that that was put on their licenses, so that when the police ask them for something, it will put them on notice that this is where they're supposed to be or not supposed to be. Let's see here, going through the bill. Page, if I don't go over anything, that's just stuff that was always in the bill. Page 13 of 31. Actually, right now, we allow business, sidewalk, or vehicle vendings to be permitted between the hours of 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. I didn't know that. So I put an exception in on residential streets that they cannot be vending on residential streets zoned A, B, and C, and we can talk about that. And also, if it's a F neighborhood commercial, that if then they touch up against a residential street, that we limit the hours of vending from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. because I don't want to live next to anybody conducting vending at all times of night, be it in a truck or on the sidewalk. Let's see here, if we're going through here. Section 31, page 20. There's people don't know this, but you're supposed to get a permit if you like have stuff put outside your business. You're not just supposed to sit it outside on the sidewalk. You're actually supposed to go through a permitting process, which a lot of people don't do. So another thing that happens is they'll like lease something, a piece of land, and then go on the land. So basically, I changed 31 to say they have to lease and occupy a part of a building. You just can't get a lot and go up on it and put all that junk up on it. And we have a big problem with that during Easter, Mother Days, any kind of holiday. They're selling everything there. Okay. So another thing is that if you lease a building, you can't lease the building and have it locked up and then you still just do the vending outside. That you actually also have to occupy inside the building. So you can't just lease the building and then do the vending outside. So I added that. Let's see here. In section 32, I just added the words "this or other ordinances" again about the downtown vending in case there are changes in the downtown vending, that it would be open to whatever the alderman from the 7th changed it to. Let's see here. Go to section 35, which is my thing. 35 talks about Kingshighway. Right now, you can buy probably car, people, anything you want to in the median at Kingshighway. It is horrible. They have worn the grass down. They got a post. They got the Brothers of Islam, which I've already called Don Muhammad. They got the Post-Dispatch. It is bare rocks up there at Natural Bridge and Kingshighway. So this section 35 expressly prohibits the distribution of newspaper, pamphlets, handbills, or anything else in the median at Kingshighway or even in the street or the roadway. It is a hazard. People have been hit. People have gotten their legs broke. And it also requests that the director of street within 30 days of passing this, that they post no soliciting signs right at those corners so that people will not say that they didn't know that they could solicit or vend there.
Does that also mean that the Post Dispatcher or other companies, Argus or whatever, can't put a vending machine up there where you can come and get a free newspaper?
They can do it on the corners. They can't do it in the median.
Oh, okay.
The median is, and it's muddy half the time up there,
Okay.
so that's what our corners are for.
Okay.
It doesn't prevent the corners, it just says you can't put all that stuff in the median.
Just in the median.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, going to, page 28 of 31. Now, this, I know, I never did get to the police, and this will probably come out. I still want the money to be held, because I say that when they make the money, you, that's if you take that, you hold it, but I know that that's something probably that the committee may not, support, and I haven't been able to talk to, Major Jones about what they do with the money, so I left it in there, but I know that's probably something we may not get past, but we already are allowed to to take their, if they have items, we can take that if they are arrested illegally vending. But my thing is, if they know that their money will not stay in their pocket, then they will be more likely not to want to vend in illegal places. But I know that's controversial. I left it in there until I could talk to her, and I thought by the time that we came back here, I would have some direction from the police about what they think about that. She and I paid telephone tags since the last time we were here. So, and some of the committee had indicated they were unwilling to do that, but I did kind of leave it, but that's easily taken out. And then, Exhibit A is something from one of the other board bills that was part of the South Downtown Development Project area. I wanted to make sure that I included that in, one of the ordinances that we repealed, but I wanted to make sure that it was included in this one. It's the exact same thing. Yes, sir.
If I may, if you go back to page 20,
Mm-hmm,
section 31,
okay.
is there a way that you could put language in there to say that it's gotta be, an occupied building?
That's
Or
what
a building with an occupancy?
Oh, okay. Which one, 31?
31, yes.
Put an occupancy in there?
You said lease, yeah.
Right.
Cause I got a station, as an example, that's boarded up, and they like to do free phones.
Yes. Well, the phones are addressed in here, I want you to know. No
Yeah,
sampling.
I saw 'em.
Okay, okay.
You know, but this would make
Okay,
it specific
occupancy
that if
permit.
they're there,
I like it, thank you, that's what I was looking for. So Alderman Ortman and I have been dealing with this for a long time. He wants it stronger. Yes, I can change that, and I will write the language and have it for the next time.
thank you.
Are there any other comments on Board Bill 85, committee substitute? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
We're
No,
not
no.
passing it out.
Oh, we're not gonna pass it on?
Sharon.
We're just gonna
Okay.
hold it.
And I would ask the committee to please go through, and if there's any questions, anything that's left out, it's not because I tried to, it's because because I copied and pasted and went back.
It looks like you.
Right, and if you have any questions about the flow chart, please call me.
Thank you.
Are there any other comments? If not, we'll entertain a motion to dismiss the street committee.
So moved.
Second?
Objection.
We've written your objections.
She's
I'm
on
gonna
a
stay,
roll
I'm
now.
gonna stay.
Well, we
I gotta
gotta
stay.
come back one anyway.
We should go get some pizza or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
Did you
come
bring
back
lunch?
right.
You want me, put
No,
you-
I'm fine.
You
I'm
sure?
gonna
Okay.
attend
It's a
some.
little louder, they
I
didn't
gotta
hear
call
meetings
Paul.
adjourned.
Okay, meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
Good job.